Hi, this is Pharmacist Keith Abel, and welcome to the Prosperity RX podcast. First of all, I want to congratulate you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to listen to this podcast. I'm excited that you're here with me now because you're doing something that the majority of people never do, and that's invest in yourself. Most people will think nothing of spending hundreds or even thousands of dollars a year on fuel for their vehicle, but they'll invest virtually nothing in fuel for the most important possession that they have, their mind. If you're anything like me, you probably agree with Jim Rohn's famous quote that says, formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. Now, I'm excited right now because I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that there'll be people who listen to this podcast and apply the strategies I've shared with them and experience a level of success that they've never even dreamed would be possible for themselves. If you're anything like I am, you have a huge desire to be a success in your life, to have good health and prosperity. You have a huge desire to provide more for your family, and you have a huge desire to spend all the time that you want with your family instead of having to trade your life away for a job. You probably have a huge desire to get out of the rut. And in my opinion, the only difference between a rut and a grave is the depth of the hole. Now, the purpose of these podcasts is to show you that prosperity is possible. And if you'll follow what I share with you, it'll get you out of that rut and then get you into the life that you truly want. You see, prosperity in life doesn't have to be this long, difficult process. I believe firmly that one of the secrets to prosperity is finding someone who's done it before, figuring out what it is that they did, and then do the exact same thing. Now, really, the main reason I believe I've been able to create the success in my life that I've achieved so far is that I have the ability to dream big. A wise man once told me, you'll never live life beyond your wildest expectations until you first have some wild expectations. When we're children, we have an amazing ability to dream. And think about this for a minute. When you ask a child what they're going to be when they grow up, what do they say? Do they say, I'm going to try to be a millionaire? Do they say, I'm going to try to be an astronaut? Do they say, I'm going to try to be a professional athlete? No, they have their dream, and that's what they're going to be, period. Now, unfortunately, as they grow a little bit older, people begin to tell them that they're being unrealistic, that they should aspire to be something that they can accomplish more easily. For many children, society steals their dream, and just like how a child lowers their level of thinking because of practicality, most people lower their level of thinking because they've given up. They've made goals like getting out of debt instead of having goals like owning their own paid for home. Puny goals like having enough money to pay all their bills this month instead of having enough money to live on the interest created from their investments. When folks, it's no wonder that children stop looking up to their parents at a certain point in their life. It's a sad fact, but for most families, this is true. When a child is 6 years old, their parents are their heroes. But when they're about 16, the child wonders what happened to them. They see their parents have gone from grown-ups to given-ups. It's also no surprise that most young adults end up giving up on their dreams. They're simply following in the footsteps of their parents. I've told you before in previous podcasts, back in 2013, when I traveled across the country to meet some of the most successful people I could find, and I talked with them about their success, and as I also look back at myself and my own success, I found a character trait that's common in all of us. And that's our ability to dream big dreams. It's the ability to break out of common thinking that you've gotten stuck in and begin to dream about the huge possibilities that are there for your life. If you found that success is largely dependent on desire, a burning desire is what you have to have in your gut to do what's necessary to succeed. If you want to harness your passion, your drive, your discipline, your determination, you have to have a burning desire. And I'll tell you, the formula for creating that desire is through dreams. Dreams are the fuel that fire the desire. Dreams are the fuel that gets you back on your feet when you've been knocked down. Dreams are the fuel that gives you the motivation that you need to put in that extra mile. Dreams are the fuel that provides the sheer willpower that allows you to say, I can, I will, and I must. Dreams give us power. They allow us to stand out above the crowd. They're an essential element in leadership. Dreams provide inspiration to yourself and to others when they're shared with enthusiasm and faith. Here's what you've got to realize. There's millions upon millions of millionaires around the world. So if it's possible to reach that level of success, why would you accept anything less? You know, for years I used to get caught up in feeling guilty about dreaming big dreams that seem overly materialistic. In fact, the material things themselves have little meaning. What really has meaning is the person you have to become in order to create that type of income. That's what I love about the network marketing industry, because if you want to become if you want to become massively successful, you absolutely must first become great at assisting others in achieving success. This is the only industry in the world where contribution plays such an important role in achieving wealth. When you simply learn to make other people's dreams and goals more important than your own, you achieve success. Because of my desire to help others, I've always been a very giving person. And I realized not long ago when Warren Buffett, the second richest person in the world, donated billions of dollars to the charitable foundation of Bill Gates, the number one richest man in the world. At that time, I realized that there's an abundance of wealth to be shared. So instead of thinking lack and scarcity, I began to realize that there's plenty of money in the world to go around. I realized that we could have the material possessions and at the same time make a huge contribution to society. Now, living the lifestyle of your dreams and contributing to the society in a massive way is nothing more than a choice. So begin to believe that every man, woman, and child was created equal. And when you stand firm with that belief, you develop the mindset that you possess everything that it takes to live the life of your dreams. Now, if one person deserves success, you must realize that you deserve it as well. When you don't pursue your dreams, a little part of you dies inside. Going after your dreams gives you energy. It gives you life. It gives you fulfillment. And the most widely recognized definition of success is the progressive realization of a worthwhile dream. So what that tells me is that true success comes not from the end result, but from the pursuit of your dreams. So begin to dream again. Imagine that the most that's possible for your life. And then remember that no matter what your current level of thinking is, you're probably thinking too small. Dream big dreams. Create a dream that inspires you, a dream that's more than you can even imagine possible for yourself. You need to dream that will take your breath away. And if your dream doesn't scare you, it's probably not big enough. It may not be easy achieving your dreams. It may be a fight. It may be a struggle. You may lose sleep. It may require you to experience rejection. In fact, it'll probably hurt. But fighting for your destiny, fighting for your dreams is the one fight you'll never regret. You see, I believe you have a calling somewhere deep inside you. This calling is for your greatness. It's waiting to be answered. You've been ignoring it for years now. You may have spent the last few years caught in your normal routine of just getting by, but nonetheless, your calling is there. That calling is what begs of you to get out of the routine, get out of the rut, get out of the mediocrity. The calling eats at you. It's the voice deep down in your gut that wants more. It's that voice you hear when you want to take your family on that exotic vacation, but you can't afford it. It's the voice that you hear when you're at the restaurant and you have to look at the prices on the menu before you can choose what you want so you can see if you can even afford it. It's the voice that you hear when you see someone else who's admired for doing great things in the world and you realize that you could do even more. You're not put on this earth for mediocrity. You were put on this earth to achieve your destiny. God has given you the power to achieve the greatest heights, the power to make a difference in the world, and the power to realize your dreams. My core belief in life is that we were all given the exact same ability at birth. How we manifest those abilities, however, is up to us. Unfortunately, too many people live their lives filled with excuses. Excuses like, I'm not smart enough. I don't have enough education. I'm too poor. I'm too old. I'm too young. They're all lies that we use as excuses to live small. Whether you want to admit this about yourself or not, you were created with all the creative and all the genius, all the determination, all the strength that you need to create greatness in your life. I'll leave you with a quote that I've read hundreds of times over the years, and it still inspires me every day when I read it. Far better is it to dare mighty things, to win glorious triumphs, even though checkered by failure, than to take the ranks with those poor spirits who neither enjoy much nor suffer much because they live in the gray twilight of mediocrity that knows neither victory nor defeat. Comment below on what dream you have that puts fire in your gut. Thanks again for listening to my podcast. I'll see you on the next one.
Folks, this has been another episode of the Prosperity RX Podcast, where we share with you your prescription for prosperity. Now's the best time to start taking control of your life. And as a loyal listener, I've put together a free course that you can take that will walk you through the steps of setting up and following a spending plan, so your family can also get on the road of financial peace and prosperity. To get that course absolutely free, visit spendingplanclass.com. And if you enjoyed this episode, I hope you like and share it. And in future episodes, I'll be covering many topics to teach you how to improve and to take control of your health, as well as topics that encourage savings and debt freedom. After all, what good is your health if you have no wealth? And what good is your wealth if you have poor health? So be sure to subscribe to my podcast on your favorite podcast platform. It's Prosperity RX Podcast. And be sure to subscribe to my blog, prosperityrx.com.